Would you want it any other way? E.J. Tackett and Jesper Svensson, champions by every metric, at the very top of their game. If pressure makes diamonds, these are two of bowling's rarest gems.
We are watching greatness.
The Iceman, as cool as they come, as talented as it gets, a man who will put his best up against anyone. Versus the man who needs no introduction.
Tackett, a triple crown!
Poised to win a third consecutive Player of the Year award. Building a resume that cements him as one of the greatest to ever do it.
Wow, that's a Hall of Famer.
A dream ending for this final act. The PBA Playoffs Championship starts now on Fox.
The stage is set. What a scene at Strobel Arena at Thunder Bowl Lanes. $100,000 is on the line. And PBA Tour playoff supremacy. Between these two men, you get 40 PBA Tour titles. E.J. Tackett versus Jesper Svensson right now on Fox. As we welcome you to Strobel Arena, everybody, I'm John Fanta. He is the Hall of Famer. Randy Pederson will join Kimberly Pressler in a moment. You get a right-hander versus a left-hander, a two-hander versus a one-hander. Nobody is better than E.J. Tackett in this sport. But if you look down that list, Jesper Svensson isn't far off. This is a heavyweight showdown. Our friends from WWE help supply the belt as well.
Johnny, I'll tell you what, if you're a bowling fan, this is what dreams are made of. Starting on the left side of the lane with the Iceman, Jesper Svensson. There's not a stronger, more powerful strike ball on the PBA Tour than what the Iceman bringeth with each and every shot. He's going to get up against the #1 player in the world in E.J. Tackett, and what a 2025 he's had. He's going to secure, once again, another Player of the Year honor. With the win today, it'll give him 5 wins, 2 of those being majors. There's only one other player in the history of the PBA that's done that, and that's the late, great Earl Anthony.
Tackett now trying to do it a second time in the last 3 years. It'll be the 7th singles matchup on TV between these two. Tackett with a 4-2 advantage. 2 of the 4 major champions in this showdown. Let's meet them.
Let's bowl the championship match of the PBA playoffs. From Gothenburg, Sweden, a 13-time PBA champion, the Iceman, Jesper Svensson.
And after a runner-up finish in last year's PBA playoffs, 2025 marked the return of the Iceman to the forefront of the PBA Tour. Jesper Svensson racked up 4 top 5 finishes, including a victory in April's PBA Tournament of Champions, the 2nd time he's captured the PBA's signature event.
And Kimberly is with Jesper now.
Jesper, you told us that your season had started off slow, but you stayed focused, and now you're coming in here hot, fresh off a TOC win, long journey to get here. How excited are for you for this moment to finally arrive?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride the last month, yeah, there's nothing better than being here in the packed Strobel Arena. So much history in this building, so yeah, I can't wait to put on a show for this crowd, and I'm confident that I'm going to bring home the belt.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
From Austin, Indiana, the 3-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, E.J. Tackett.
There is no more dominant player on the planet than soon-to-be 4-time Player of the Year, E.J. Tackett. Tackett's 4 wins in 2025 include his 2nd career U.S. Open. This is my house, baby! And his 4th PBA World Championship. He also captured titles at the Pete Weber Missouri Classic and the PBA Shark Championship.
EJ, you know, we joked yesterday in the pre-show interviews that you have won so many titles over the past few years that there's literally a second page dedicated to listing all of them. But the one thing that's missing is the PBA playoffs title. So how eager are you to add that WWE belt to the trophy?
You know, it's one of those things that outside major championships, you know, this is one of those events that it takes a whole season to be able to even have the opportunity to win this championship. It's the first time that I've been here, so Jesper's got some experience in this, so I'm going to have to overcome that a little bit, but I'm excited to get this going and hopefully put on a good show for these fans.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Yes, Jesper Svensson was in this PBA playoffs finals match a year ago. As we take a look at the season in review, Randy, think about this. Tackett with close to $370,000 in earnings. If he wins this, he could be on track with the tour finals still on deck and a couple other events to break Kyle Troop's single-season earnings record.
Yeah, Kyle Troop, $496,000, just a couple of grand shy of $500,000, and EJ Tackett, he could break that record.
The TOC champion this year, Svensson, starts us. That's bat 37. Well, Jesper Svensson, look, I came so close last year. If I'm going to get this title, EJ Tackett's a human being too. He may be the best on the planet, but I feel pretty good about where I'm at right now. But this is the big task of having to go through this monster, the best in the world. Attack. His best previous finish in the playoffs, tied for 5th. Seeking again his 5th title of 2025, the 28th of his career. And he's only 32. As we tell you, if any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register, visit GoBowling.com and sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion. Randy, you've been around so many greats. You're a Hall of Famer yourself. First, let's look at his arsenal.
He is using the Tank Rampage Pearl on the left lane. I'll get to the right lane in a second. Remember, dual patterns. On the right lane, he's using a Sub-Zero Forge. Long pattern on the right, short pattern on the left.
He prefers that right side, said he can shape it more. Doesn't love urethane, but that's what he's gone with on the left as things have gone on.
Yeah, and it's not, it's like he does go to this ball that's a micropolymer, but he's not a huge urethane fan. And he even said, as we take a look at Jesper's arsenal going with IQ Tour 78U on both lanes, but EJ's saying that shorter pattern, the longer I stay on it, the worse it looks.
Oh boy, a predicament for Svensson. Well, how do you navigate this? %, the PBA Tour average on 4, 6, 7, 10.
Big four. Only made one time in the history of PBA bowling on television. That's by the great Walter Ray Williams Jr. in Atlanta some years ago.
With this young man, when you saw him win the TOC, what impressed you the most?
Well, he pretty much led it from start to finish, and he just had a feeling of confidence from the start of the practice session on.
And a 7 for Svensson.
And the key for Jesper for today is getting his ball to strike. He's going to hit the pocket, but it's getting all 10 to go down. We saw him have a lot of carry issues leading up to this point, and Here we are in frame 3. It's his first 7-pin.
2015 Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year. He was the youngest player to win the TOC when he was 20 years, 357 days old back in 16, and making it the second title earlier this season in Fairlawn.
So EJ Tackett using reactive resin on the right lane, the longer pattern. And he's using that microcell polymer on the left lane.
He's on pace to break the single season average record of 229.39.
Just the 4, not the 9 with it. That's okay. And again, it's a race to 3. If we tie 2 games apiece, there'll be a 9th and 10th frame roll off. See a look at pound for pound, the strongest strike ball on tour, EJ Tackett, the bent wrist and elbow at the bottom of the swing, and then just unleashing fury into the lane.
A little different from our race to 2 last year in the final, just race to 3, so a little bit more breathing room as we take a look at our Bowl TV highlights. A Sunday semifinal action, EJ Tackett and Graham Fa.
EJ Tackett took game 1, 250 to 193, and then it's a close one in game 2, but still EJ comes out victorious, 210 to 190.
And a strike for the best on the planet.
I want you to think of that ball he's using, that microcell polymers, as like urethane light.
Right. He didn't put it lightly yesterday.
Just go with it.
He didn't put. Look, it's. I'm with you based on what he said about urethane to us yesterday on the left side.
Doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it at all.
No, he just says he's never really matched up well with urethane. Hates it.
He really did not like that at all.
Same big 4 hit, but this time just the 7, or excuse me, just the 10 pin. I think another interesting note about both players, EJ Tackett first came out on tour and signed his contract with Motive. He's been with them ever since, his entire career out here. And same with Jesper Svensson and Storm. In fact, I think Timmy Mack discovered Jesper when he was 7, like a 7-year-old.
He's 30 now. Tim Mack, Jesper was so complimentary at Timmy yesterday. He said he knows he can finish my sentences.
Yeah, he
knows my game.
Knows everything about Jesper's game. Let's take a look at the old pattern, Johnny.
Let's do it, powered by Kegel. On the left, Bat 37. On the right, Hardwick 44.
Longer pattern named after the Hall of Famer Billy Hardwick, 44 feet on the right lane. The players are going to play closer to the track area. On the left, they're going to use non-reactive equipment and play a little bit farther to the outside part of the lane.
We're always trying to teach people things, those who may not be as familiar, as locked in to the sport. When you've got a dual pattern, it makes that viewer at home that might be still learning bowling. Okay, how do they handle that? What's the challenge of going back and forth?
Well, the challenge is different equipment and then different angles and speed. But that's what makes the greatest players in the world shine. They're able to do just about anything they want. And it was just a few years ago when the wee Iceman, Norm Duke, won back-to-back weeks on dual oil patterns. Just once again showing his greatness.
Norm Duke won a lot?
Yeah, a lot. Nice shot there by EJ.
Beauty.
And the lead now 25, halfway through game number 1.
As you continue to bring up, race to 3. So if you do go down 1-0, you can recover and be right back in it. You go down 2-0 and you're staring at a tough spot. Tackett getting past Anthony Simonson and then Graham Fa. Yeah, the playoffs are going to test you to the max. Attack.
Oh, good shot too. Yeah, by the way, Norm Duke, 40 career wins on this tour.
Unbelievable.
But what a run this guy's been on, huh?
Oh.
EJ Tackett.
On his way to a third consecutive Chris Schenkel Player of the Year honor.
It wasn't that long ago we were having the same conversation about Jason Belmonte, and that torch has been handed off to this man.
But he said that bar still drives him. The Belmo bar drives him every single day. We're going to talk more about that, living up to its standard. Tackett and Svensson, it's hard to get to the top. EJ explained to us how hard it is to stay there next. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. Welcome back to Strobel Arena. Randy Pederson, I know you've got something for us.
I do, Johnny. Let's go down lane side and talk to the Hall of Famer Tim Mack, Storm representative, working with his man Jesper. Timmy, I know it's early, but what's going on with Jesper on the right lane?
Listen, just got uncomfortable first couple of shots. I think he's going to make a real good one here out of commercial, get his hand in the right spot. We feel comfortable on both lanes. I'd expect some really good shots here coming from Jesper.
All right, thanks, Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
So Svensson finds himself down 24 in this race to 3. $100,000 on the line. PBA playoffs final. Svensson was in this matchup with Boog Kroll a year ago in Florida. Fell just short. He needs that strong shot here. Timmy Mack called it.
That was a good one.
As you take a look at our Ball TV highlights in Sunday's semifinal action, it was Jesper Svensson going up against Chris Vi.
Jesper gets by Vi. Game 1, 207, 186. But in game 2, all Svensson bowling his highest game in the playoffs, 248, 172 clincher.
And his road, beating Jacob Buttroff, then Andrew Anderson, and then sweeping Vi. Felt like he may have found something in that second game against Vi, and he's finding something right now.
Well, he's been almost perfect on that left lane. But the one big open in the second for Jesper, the big 4, but now trailing by just, what is it, 4 or 5? I can't
Just
see the
4.
scoreboard.
Just 4.
Oh my.
10 did drop. That was almost tough. Instead, it's just the 4.
Well, that's a great break here, kicking the 10 out late. Big 4 looked like it was there for a minute. You see that motion that EJ just made with his hand? That means that he got around it early. Typically, when a player does that, it's going to go high.
A late arrival to the party for the 10. It did arrive, and he's able to clean that up. United States Open champion, the world champion for a 3rd consecutive year. As we remind you, the winner of each game earns 1 point. It is a race to 3. If we're at 2 apiece after 4 games, it'll be a 9th and 10th frame. A roll-off wins $100,000, that WWE belt. Beauty from EJ.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty. It was so nice that it's a clean wipe. Presented by Dude Wipes.
Nothing better than wiping the 9. Right there.
Yeah, that facial expression says it all.
And so does that. After trailing pretty much this entire game, Jesper Svensson can take a lead for the first time here in the 8th.
Yes, sir! For Jesper. And in the house is the two-time PBA playoffs champion, Kyle Troop.
Well, that's some friend.
Surprising him last night.
That is a brother right there.
Coming in Detroit, having dinner with his best buddy, giving him a little advice.
Yeah, drive 6 hours.
Yep, saying, hey, could I have $5 grand if you win 100?
Drive 6 hours to root on your pal. That's friendship.
It sure is.
Oh, he got it wide.
Big time wide.
And now he's left himself a lot of work. The only way this gets back is if he throws it slower.
On that shorter bat 37, the left side here.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with the dual patterns. On one lane, he's trying to go a little bit more up the gut. And on the left lane, the shorter pattern, he's giving it some angle.
Yep.
You have too much angle, it leaves a bucket.
Basically have to recalibrate your brain from one side to the other.
Wow. You recalibrate your brain and your body at the same time, right? So one motion could be completely different if a player is somehow able to kind of play the lane similar using just different equipment, then that's a big advantage. But we haven't seen that yet. EJ and Jesper playing the right lane completely different than they are the left. Jesper is using urethane on both lanes, but two different layouts.
3 pins of difference right now. Tackett. Unlucky.
And look how quickly things change. Remember that dude wipe that you talked about?
I do remember it.
The 9-pin getting shellacked. Watch the bowling ball go right by the 9-pin on this shot here. This is not a good break. Watch this. You kidding me?
Polishes it off, but look at how much things have changed now. We've got drama in our opening game. To the 10th.
Both players working on spares. You can see the difference there. Just 3. All coming down to the 10th here in game 1.
Big one for Tackett. Needed it and got it. Really, that difference right now is the open in the second by Svensson. Tackett has not had an open. Winning the World Championship for a 3rd consecutive year. Only Jason Belmonte, Jason Couch, and Earl Anthony had ever won a PBA major championship 3 consecutive times before this man. Soon to be 3 straight player of the year. Absolutely hated it. Lost his footing, it looked like, too.
Yeah,
this release.
Some balance issues on that shot. Got it wide. Just leaving.
Gosh dang it.
The single pin, but you can see there, loses his footing, just the 2-pin. And now Svensson, if he just matches what EJ Tackett did in the 10th, he's going to capture game 1. 9 spare 9 will do it.
Tackett, you can tell, upsetting himself right now because 18 for Svensson. Svensson's going to take this opener on the right side to close. Svensson, oh! The 10 just got in the car in time.
Did that 10-pin just try to freeze the Iceman?
It tried and it failed.
Good luck.
The 10 thawed.
Watch how long this thing stands up for.
Wow. It's like time stopped. 8 to win game number 1. He told us, why not take on the best in the world for 100K? I'm ready for this moment. Svensson strikes first. Finish strong with long drink. Finish strong with long drink. Sparkling refreshment. Real liquor. Please enjoy responsibly.
And after that massive opening in the second, the Iceman has that late four-bagger and then two of the prettiest shots in the 10th to win game 1.
He said, I can't be hovering around 198, 199. I got to put together enough scoring. Got to get at least 215. Well, he got 217 in game 1, Randy, and he's got a 1-0 lead. But this is a race to 3. This is a marathon. It's the ultimate back and forth battle to get 100K, a WWE title belt, and playoff glory. Neither one of them has ever won the playoffs. That changes this afternoon. Svensson up 1. Welcome back to PBA Playoffs Finals on Fox. Back in 2022, Kyle Troop down in Jupiter won his second consecutive PBA playoffs as he defeated Tommy Jones 3-1. This was Troop's 9th career title, his only title that year, and it made him playoffs king because he also won in 2021. He owned this event for a couple of years, one of, well, 5 winners. 4 winners, rather. We'll have 5 after today with Chris Prater winning his inaugural playoffs. Bill O'Neill, PBA Hall of Famer. Book Kroll last year making a dream come true. And Kimberly is with the playoffs game. Mr. True.
Kyle, they talked earlier about how you came in to surprise Jesper last night, but we just saw the video. You've won this event twice. What advice did you give Jesper?
Honestly, there was no advice needed, Kimberly. Jesper's been on a roll lately, winning the TSC. He's feeling himself through the playoffs. He's confident. So, we just bring in the extra support and love, like you mentioned, especially bowling the best bowler in the world in EJ. So, we're here supporting and loving Jesper.
Well, the fact that you mentioned coming here and supporting him, how important was it for you to come out and do that today?
It's very important. We're a family, and I know he lives in Sweden, but I feel like the roles will be reversed if he did live in the States. So we got each other's back, and we're excited to continue the match. Watch a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They are family. Spend so much time with each other, and they're better halves as well. Jesper actually purchased a new house in Sweden.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Him and his family. They're moving in on Wednesday.
Nothing more fun than moving. I'll tell you what, you can really tell who your real friends are when it comes time to move. It's like, hey, buddy, I'm moving. You doing anything on Saturday? Oh, yeah, I'm busy. Oh, my goodness.
7 for Tackett. So what's your thought process for him here, down 1-0? How does he bounce back?
I mean,
if that's even a thing after his first game.
If you look at the 9th frame where he left the solid 9, you give him a hit there, he wins.
It's not like he's bowling poorly.
He left a 10-pin in the first, a 4-pin in the third, a 10-pin in the 6th.
Struck in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th.
I mean, again, you look at that score sheet there, the solid 9 in the 9th frame was the difference.
Think about this for Svensson on the right side. He had an open. His first time on the right side in game 1.
Oh!
A strike this time. The 10 provided some help for another clean wipe. Presented by Dude Wipes.
That's a nice break here. Tripping that 6 late. A little slap in the back of the 6-pin's noggin.
Yeah, I'll move that box for you.
I know you'd come over and help me move.
100%.
Yeah, he's dialed in.
sure is. And you know what was interesting when we talked with him yesterday? He said, when I showed up to the TOC, I said something to somebody that I never say. I said, I'm going to win this week.
He said that to his roommate, Kyle.
Yeah.
He said, Kyle, I'm going to win this. That was in practice session.
And it's not like him. I mean, he's normally not like that. He's a little more reserved at times. Tackett punches right back. It's so hard to say that because it's so hard to win. You could say you're going to win.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, he really thought he was going to win in practice. During the practice session, as we take a look one more time at the beautiful, powerful form of E.J. Tackett. But, you know, as a player, during practice session of an event, you get a feeling based on your ball reaction, what the lanes are giving you, and how you're throwing it, if you have a chance.
Messenger never came with the phone call.
And there's times where you're like, man, if the lanes stay the same and I keep throwing it like this, I got a pretty good chance.
But have you ever showed up to a TV show and you said to yourself, I know I've got this, and then you catch a bad break? I mean, I know that you have.
Of course.
That's just it, though. That's my point of you could be bowling your absolute best and still get unlucky and lose.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game.
Right here, can just be a couple left of that down there.
Maybe. Well, that one, I felt like the first shot over there, and then I burned on in the front. So I took my pinky to get around it. So I can just throw it slow from there. Okay.
Caught a little bit of it. I'll talk about it right after Jesper's shot.
Two-time TOC champion, 13-time PBA Tour champion. On tour at the age of 27.
Another good shot by Jesper. Looks like he's comfy now on that right lane. But a nice time to carry the 7-pin, because I would have given him 3 in a row and a chance at 4. .93% of the time, the 7-pin is converted.
Where do you get that from?
Look out. I got it. I get that from our good friends each and every week on the PBA Tour, our dear friends at Lane Talk. For more information, head on over to lanetalk.com and download the free app. It'll make you a better bowler. I promise.
You're going to finish your thought on Tackett.
So Tackett said that he tried tucking his pinky to get around it a little bit more the last time up on that left lane. Just trying to create a little bit different rotation. Yeah, and you can see by the tracer, it was just slightly inside of the last shot that he struck with on the left lane. Again, 2 different patterns if you're just tuning in, folks. The long pattern on the right, that's the 44-foot Hardwick. And on the left, if you're an animal lover, it's the 37-foot bat.
Svensson looking for back-to-back titles along with that TOC. Only players to have won back-to-back titles since him in 2020 are Tackett 3 times and Anthony Simonson. Pretty amazing company when you think about it. And speaking of that company, wasn't it interesting yesterday talking with EJ about greatness? And he said, look, it was hard enough for me to get to the top. He said, but it is extremely hard. It's even harder to stay on this level because you know every time you show up what you're going to get from the competitor. Beauty from Tackett. And these two have some title history. Flashback 9 years ago, PBA Fall Swing, the PBA Bear Open, right in this building. It was E.J. Tackett. They look a little younger here.
Oh my goodness.
Against Jesper Svensson. He beat him 212 to 199. Then his 3rd career PBA title. He's got 27 now.
Man, what I wouldn't give to look 10 years younger.
And back-to-back jacks.
And I'd give it back if I could be as good as these 2 players. It was funny when Jesper won after the TSC. I went out and I handed him the score sheet. And I said, congrats, champ. Welcome back. And he says, now I'm tied with you at 13 titles. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's what you love about both these guys, Randy, and I know it's important in this sport. These guys respect the history of the sport.
They do. Yep, very much so.
And Svensson counters. This is a duel in game 2. It's Svensson up 1-0, trying to take full control. Tomorrow, it's the biggest day in motorsports as the greatest spectacle in racing. The 109th Indianapolis 500 comes to Fox with Newgarden going for a historic three-peat. Joseph Newgarden. Coverage will begin at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Fox.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That could have been bad.
What happened?
Looked like he lost his footing halfway through his approach. Seen players do it that have their thumb in the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't remember the last time I saw a two-hander pull back that deep into the approach.
Remember, Tackett on this left side came up a little gimpy.
Yeah, he had a little footing issue on that left lane as well. Interesting. No issues there. Except that.
Wow.
Except that, dude.
So on target, too.
Hey, and while we have a moment, I'd like to congratulate you and your wife and your family. You're a new father. Congratulations. Andrew came into the world, what, 3-4 weeks ago?
About 2.5 weeks ago.
Atta boy. Congratulations. Congratulations, Johnny.
Thank you. The credit goes to Mom, who was a champ. They're back home. He's watching his first show right now.
Well done, my brother.
Yeah. Thank you. 36 hours of labor, Randy. 36 hours.
That's
wow. Almost as much time as it takes to move you. We got a battle here between Svensson and Tackett on Fox.
That's a good idea. Everybody stand up.
Welcome back to Strobel Arena, PBA Playoffs Finals. E.J. Tackett finds himself down 1-0. This is a race to 3. John Fanta, Randy Pederson with you. Randy, I want to ask you this question before we get back in the action. When did it occur to you that this guy could be legendary?
EJ?
Yeah.
When I first saw him.
When was that?
It was like 2016 when he first came out on tour.
Mm-hmm. You just knew right away?
Oh, yeah.
Shots like that.
I mean, he's been on tour for 13 years, trying to find where his first show was. But, yeah, I mean, the first time I saw him throw a ball, I'm like, wow, this guy's going to be good. Now, of course, I didn't know he was going to be this good.
'15 Lubbock Sports Open was his first title. And then he won 4 times in 16.
Yeah.
Oh, boy is right. Oh, EJ. No.
And he paid for it.
Damn it.
Max just went from 270 to 246.
Just a full yank right up the lane into the face. And leaves the big 4. He's going to throw this one really hard, try to bounce one out.
Oh! Only ever been converted once on TV. Wow. Close. It's a heck of an attempt, but look how much things just changed.
Yeah, he got the 10 to come back out, but he needed it to go across, obviously, and got exciting there for a split second. And now look at how the max scores have changed. And just like that, Svensson retakes the lead.
Race to 3. 6.
Yeah, just a pinch tight. You can see how he's playing the longer pattern just inside of third arrow, out to about 10. Again, more in that track zone or track area.
Svensson got off to a slow start to his season. He said, my mentality is you don't quit. It's been his mindset the last couple of years. He said, just make the playoffs, and then I like the 1v1 setting. And again, a reminder, our format, it is a race to 3. Winner of each game earns a point. Svensson took game number 1. If tied after 4, we'll have a 9th and 10th for a roll-off. Yes, for the Lucky Larson Masters champion, as you said, runner-up the year prior.
I was there. Called it. Beautiful Helsingborg, Sweden. Myself and Dave Ryan called that.
Svensson lives in Gothenburg.
Oh, that one peeled. That thing went sideways quick when it got about halfway down the lane. Just a little bit slower, and that caused that big change of direction. As we take a look, his ball speed was just a bit softer on that shot. And a nice break, tripping out the 4-7. He's playing that left lane a good 5 boards to the left than he is the longer pattern on the right lane. I think EJ is about 9 different.
And cleans it up. It's funny because EJ Tackett actually told PBA.com, he said, the left-handed players have had trouble stringing strikes together at Strobel. He said, I don't think it's execution or even ball choice. They just haven't been able to get the corners to fall down. And Jesper said those corner pins, they weigh 3 times more.
Yeah, the left-handers have, over the years, struggled in the Strobel arena to strike or to carry.
Tackett needs to find his groove, and he's not right now.
Pretty good position at the arrows, and about a board and a half, a little bit farther right down lane. I don't think this was very good out of his hand, and that's why he didn't pick up. You could see him making that motion again. He didn't quite have the roll needed to have that ball pick up and get to the pocket.
Think about it. He had 4 out of 5 strikes, and he walked into the 7th with a max score of 270. Now he's going in the 9th with a max score of 222.
Come on.
You make one mistake, and in the 7th, there's a look. 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Big 4 for EJ in the 7th. Svensson, game 1, had the big 4 in the 2nd. Jesper was still able to come away with a victory. Can EJ do the same here in game 2?
Better?
It was better.
Much. All right, he sets up the 10th. If Jesper Svensson doesn't strike here in the 9th frame, EJ can snatch game 2 in the 10th.
And he'll finish on the right side. We'll tack it in this 2nd game, which is the one that he prefers. Feels like he can shape things more. He has more control with it being the longer Hardwick.
All right, if he strikes here, he'll need a double 8 in the 10th to shut out EJ Tackett.
Svensson has not had an open in this game. On this 44 Hardwick, Svensson with a big-time strike. Pressure applied.
I think a little bit of pressure alleviated because he struck on that ball, and now he has a chance to shut out EJ. If he didn't strike there, he could have lost.
Alleviated for him.
Right.
Especially with a 1-0 lead, too. Tackett needs this. You go down 2-0.
In a race to 3? Yeah, not good.
go. It went!
Man.
And a boom for the Iceman. A blizzard brewing for Jesper Svensson.
Remember last time up on this lane, Jesper went high, avoided a disastrous split, only leaving the 6'10". This time, just a little bit faster ball speed does the trick. And now a strike and 8 away from claiming game 2.
This is the big one. Said he's as confident as ever. Feels really good about everything. Felt like he grew as the playoffs went on. Went over Vi. Now Svensson. Yes, sir! Jesper! Wow!
Man, did he give that shot the business. Taking advantage of a couple of nice breaks, which is what you have to do to win in any sport. And Jesper does just that. Now needs 8.
To go up 2-0 in this race to 3. Wow, wow, wow. Against the best on the planet. Cold-blooded! Svensson leads 2-0.
We talked about it at the top of the show, 2 of the most dynamic players on the tour. And this man, Jesper Svensson, he is not disappointing.
Well, for E.J. Tackett, it's not that he is bowling poorly, but just a couple of mishaps in the 7th and open. That proves to be the real difference.
E.J. looking at another ball there in the 10th frame, and he's got to find something and find it quick.
You know, we talk about the theater of sports. When the all-time greats that have proven so much find themselves in a deep hole, there is some theater involved too. Okay, how are they going to take out the shovel and attempt to dig out of it?
Yeah. I mean, he's doing that right now. He's processing right now. He's like, well, I'm going to make some kind of change. I'm going to leave it all out there, but I'm not going down without a fight. He's got to find the right ball, pick the right line on both lanes, and then he has to out-execute Jesper Svensson.
225 to 220. The scoring went up in this second game. Svensson up for the task. And now E.J. Tackett finds himself down 2-0. Kimberly is with Tackett, who now finds himself in this hole.
EJ, I see the frustration all over your face. From your point of view, what's happening out on the lanes?
Yeah, well, the first game I bowled really well. Got an unfortunate break there in the 9th, but you know, that's bowling. That's how it goes. Then I shot myself in the foot the second game, threw a really bad shot in the 7th, and ended up costing me that game. And Jesper did what Jesper does and shut me out. So plain and simple, I got to throw more strikes.
Well, you were down 2, but you are not out. What adjustments do you make for the next game?
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a ball change here on this right lane, and it looked pretty good there. I think I'm going to go to the Venom Shock, and then it's all about execution after that, and hopefully throw a few in a row here and apply a little bit of pressure.
Thank you for your time.
A change to the Venom Shock, because there may be some folks shocked that he finds himself down 2-0. Because Tackett's been on fire all throughout this season, but he has found himself in an igloo, courtesy of Svensson, who's up 2-0. Welcome back to PBA Tour Playoffs Finals with Jesper Svensson up 2-0 on E.J. Tackett in this race 2-3. The PBA is proud to have Bowlers to Veterans Link. It's the official charity of the PBA Tour. In today's BVL Salute to Veterans, we welcome U.S. Marines Corporal Stanley Solgott, who served for 5 years. Thank you for your service, Stanley. To donate, go to bdl.org. That is the coolest thing that we do here on the PBA Tour.
God bless our veterans. Love it.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Strobel Arena. John Fanta and the Hall of Famer, Randy Pederson. And Randy, I'll tell you what, as we get to our beatbox frame of the game, we've got Jesper Svensson up 2-0. The frame of the game presented by Beatbox, the original Party Punch Beatbox. What's your flavor? Please enjoy responsibly.
Jesper Svensson getting it done, but he set everything up with that great shot in the 9th frame, and in the 10th, steps up and just throws 3 strikes when he needed it most to capture game 2. Phenomenal finish for the Iceman.
So for Svensson in total control right now, what's your thought process with EJ Tackett heading into game 3?
Yeah, it's micromanaging now because both games have been real tight coming down to the 10th frame. It's going to be interesting to see. EJ was dialed in on the right lane, and it looks like he might make a ball change on that lane. The left lane, for me, is his biggest question mark.
We'll take a look at some of the comparisons between these two thus far in this championship showdown. What stands out to you here?
Again, that's why everything is so close. That's why both games came down to the 10th frame. Again, Tackett, 5 strikes on the right lane in that last game. The big blemish was the open frame, the big 4 in the 7th. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of adjustments he makes. I think Jesper right now is in cruise control.
The Venom Shock adjustment, how will it work? We shall see, as we've got some pressing questions today as well with our Kimberly Pressler. Let's do it here. Today's subject is most intimidating bowler. They're presented by Go Bowling.
Kyle, who would you say is the most intimidating bowler?
It's got to be EJ Tackett.
EJ Tackett.
EJ Tackett.
EJ Tackett. For the most part of my career, it was Belmo, but it's still him to some degree. But I think right now it's definitely EJ.
I literally haven't beaten the guy since I was like 19, so it's been 14 years of torture out here. I mean, he's red hot. He's won a couple Player of the Years. I do have a good record against him, but it's pretty intimidating to bowl right now.
Would it surprise you at all that a lot of the guys out here have said you?
Yeah, actually would. I guess I'm glad that I do.
Intimidating bowler, like the scariest, look at.
Chris, who would you say is the most intimidating bowler on tour?
From a sheer size standpoint, Jesper is the Iceman. And when he's striking, I'm not sure anybody strikes more than he does.
I'm going to say Belmo, unfortunately. Not because he's really good, but if you do something wrong to him, he gets mad. And he stays mad for a long time. So, yeah, don't mess with Belmo.
Maybe when I was a rookie and I had to bowl Wes Malott. Maybe. Just because when he would say good luck, he was like, good luck down there. Like, yes, sir.
Maybe I'm too dumb to be scared of anybody, but nobody intimidates me. Tom Doherty, when he gets mad and when he gives you a certain look, you're like, I don't really want to be around him at the moment, so it's a little intimidating.
Are you intimidating?
I'm not good enough to be intimidating, but I don't think anyone wants to make me mad either.
Love that answer. Your most intimidating bowler?
Back in the day, it would have had to have been Marshall Holman. He scared me.
Great choice. EJ Tackett. How does he dig out of this hole? Can the world's best fight back? Svensson looking to sweep him. Game 3 next. Welcome back to PBA Playoffs Finals. A year ago in this event down in Florida, Boog Kroll, he started the season as a pre-tournament qualifier. He ended it as playoffs champion. Jesper Svensson took the first game. Then David Boog Kroll responded with the second game. And in this race to 2, a 9th and 10th frame roll-off, it belonged to Boog. Kroll needing to mark, the ace to strike to clinch the win. That title belt, $100,000. His life changed, his dream accomplished after he won the PBA Delaware Classic. And now a tale of the tape for these two in the playoffs. Neither one of them has ever been playoffs champion, which is hard to believe because EJ Tackett, he's won virtually every other event.
Yeah, it's the one thing missing on that elite resume of EJ Tackett's. And got a text from his wife, Natalie. She said that EJ actually made his first ever telecast in Milwaukee 12 years ago today.
Wow. 2013. What a 12-year run it's been. Svensson with a 2-0 lead in this race to 3. And this is not as smooth a start as he had in game 2. That is for certain. Starts on this left side. Cleans it up for the spare.
That's great cover. Let's take a look at the footwork of both of our players. It's very different and also very unique. Jesper on the right lane, EJ on the left. And take a look at what they're doing with their footwork. EJ much more traditionally, keeping the feet nice and close together as he goes through his approach. And then Jesper, right before the pivot step, his feet spread apart. Very unique, very different.
How was your footwork?
I don't know. Terrible. It was more traditional, more like EJ, much closer together.
Hated it. Hated it. Way right.
And EJ made the ball change going to the Venom Shock. He felt that the other ball was kind of quitting on him a bit down lane. The Venom Shock much more responsive down lane. And it looks like EJ, in order to get back into this, needs to figure out a way to inject some Venom into the Iceman.
What you did there. Right now, he's also just got to focus on himself, too, because he turned around. He didn't even look at that shot. In his head a little bit. He needs to clean this up. He does.
John, if you put a curtain up after the ball left the player's hand, if you put a curtain up just on the other side of the arrows, the player's he'll be able to tell you whether or not that's going to hit the pocket, maybe not strike, but good shot. You can feel it right out of your hand. You can see the location. You know whether or not it's got a chance. He knew that was wide right, and it had zero chance.
Again, dual pattern. The bat 37 on the left lane, the Hardwick 44 on the right.
And there's the bat pattern. Oh, boy.
Fighting it.
I should have thrown that in the break. Gosh darn it. Should have kept it better.
And this ball checks very early for EJ going down the lane. Gets the 9 out. That's the good break. The 10 goes late, so now just the 3-6.
I'll get 2, please.
Good.
He asked for it and request granted. Tackett, who wanted a big start to this game 3.
Looked like he got that one to the dirt a little early.
Back to the 30-year-old Svensson.
And again, look how tight both game 1 and 2 coming down to the 10th frame.
He is pure. Locked in.
Again, you can see by strike track just how much straighter up the lane he's going on that longer pattern. A board and a half inside of third arrow to about 10, 11, 12 down lane. And that's not a lot of belling. That's not covering a lot of ground. That's pretty straight through the front part of the lane, keeping everything in front of him on the long pattern.
TOC champ, couple of top 5s, Nevada Classic Shark Championship. And now bowling his best. He said, look, there's no way that you could fully duplicate week after week on tour. He said, so that's why January, February, March, I can get off to slow starts. It's just how things sometimes go. But he did reach a point this season where he thought during a little break, he's like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this season. I'm bowling so poorly.
Yeah, you know he didn't mean that. I mean, at the time, you know.
That's what he said, right.
No, yeah, and I heard the same thing. But my gut was like, well, yeah, as a player, you go through the lulls, and yeah, you're like, man, do I want to do this anymore? And then you come out of it, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to work harder. And I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to kick their ass, and I'm going to work harder to do that. That's what Jesper has done. That's what he's been doing throughout his entire career.
The 10 top fives for this man, a couple of majors, and man, oh man. He is having himself a tough
Not good
afternoon.
enough.
Remember, we talked about the ball change that he made going to the Venom Shock, that it was more responsive down lane, and you could see it right there. It was so much more responsive right by the 9 pin.
As he said, not good enough. 3 straight spares. You think about this guy on his way to a 3rd straight Player of the Year honor. The last couple of people to win 3 consecutive Player of the Year honors: Jason Belmonte, 2013 to 15. Walter Ray, 96 to 98. Then you have to go back to Earl Anthony, 91 or 81 to 83. There's a beauty. Earl also did it 74 to 76. Mark Roth from 77 to 79.
Kept the ball speed up on that shot, and this time he gets it to go right through the front, hold its line, and goes right through the 1-3 perfect.
In fact, Randy, from 1974 to 1984, only 1 year did Earl Anthony or Mark Roth not win Player of the Year.
Yeah, they were really good, Johnny.
The 10.
And for the first time in 2.5 games, we're starting to see that carry issue that Jesper's had over here in the Strobel Arena as a southpaw, trying to get the corners out. Frame before on the left, he left that solid 8 pin. This time it's the Ripper 10. Jesper Svensson just one win, 1 game away from buying an upgrade back to Gothenburg, Sweden.
Registration for the 2025 PBA LBC National Championships is now open to bowlers of all skill levels. The PBA LBC National Championships is returning to the Chicago area and includes a division for everyone. You can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events. Even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at pba.com. He could hire 3 moving companies for his move on Wednesday with this prize. Doesn't have to move a thing. Go out, golf, do whatever you want. Wow. It is his world on this Saturday.
He got that one back a bit, John. That was about as far left as you can get one back from, and Jesper just got it back from that spot. So he knows that's a good piece of real estate right there to get his ball back to the pocket. Now, can EJ double up? Remember, last time on this lane, he left a solid 9.
Can he start picking up steam? Yes, he can. Here comes Tackett.
That's a pretty big move, too, with the ball change. More response, more angle, and this time all 10 down.
He's a busy man, too. Owning a bowling center, having a child.
Work a lot.
Being the best in the world in this sport, and that was far from ideal.
You do that so you don't have to throw it over there. Put your hand here so you can go more here.
He doesn't want his hand going around that ball there. More up the back so he can keep it more in front of him. Meaning straighter through the front part of the lane. Yeah, big opportunity right there for EJ. Instead, it was an errant shot and just the 2-pin.
But he finds himself ahead of Svensson, having to win. Jesper Svensson just a win away from the playoffs title. Tackett trying to force a game 4 on Fox.
2 bowlers blessed with championship DNA, who know that momentum can shift at the snap of a finger. That this game demands everything you have to the last frame. Jesper Svensson, EJ Tackett. In the PBA Playoffs Championship.
Will the momentum shift in this championship showdown? Jesper Svensson up 2-0 on the best of the world, and soon to be 3 straight years as the Chris Schenkel Player of the Year, EJ Tackett. Svensson finds himself down 7 as he hits the 6th. John Fanta, Randy Pederson, Kimberly Pressler wishing all of you a good holiday weekend and start to your summer, and glad that you're starting a big Saturday on Fox with us.
For the lead.
Oh boy. 4-7-10.
Too much up the lane, and he pays for it this time. It could be just the piece of oxygen, or a little bit of a break that EJ Tackett needs.
1.4%. And open.
Maybe, just maybe, just enough for Tack to get back into this.
First real time this deep into a matchup that we've seen Svensson blink.
Svensson was down by as much as 25 early game 1.
As you said, that was early when he had that open.
Right, that was the biggest. That's the biggest deficit we've seen this afternoon.
Haven't seen it this late. Needs to respond, and does. Those max scores, Tackett at 246.
All right. Since the ball changed from game 2, Tackett has struck once on the right lane.
And that came the last time he was on the right lane. The right lane, which is his preference between these two. 44 Hardwick. Tackett, here he comes.
Go in here, come on.
This is a nice break here because this is a little bit more than high flush. I mean, 4-7-9 was standing, but he K's them all in.
Tackett is starting to sizzle in Detroit.
He's playing the pair, a good 13 boards difference. You can see the angles are completely opposite of one another, and that may have a tendency to throw off a little bit of rhythm, but the last 2 shots here, you can see when a player goes down to the floor like that, they love the shot they just threw.
And this guy loves a new challenge. And this is certainly a challenge. You're down 2-0. You got to be thinking, if you're Svensson,
pretty big hill to climb, brother.
Big hill to climb. But if there's anyone who can climb it,
well, either one of these players capable, best in the world. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, if anybody can do it, you would think EJ Tackett can do it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Game 3 far from over. There's a rev rate, and watch this. Just a collision.
That was nasty. It's a swipe across the face. Gave it a long look. He liked it. And Svensson staying in it in game 3.
That was big. That was really big because that sets up the 10th, but not only that, it gives EJ just a little something to think about.
So a triple for Svensson since the open in the 6th.
Got to execute on this right lane,
where he has struck the last 2. where he has struck the last 3.
Beautiful shot by E.J. Tackett, now just striking 6 to capture game 3. What a beauty this is. Inside 4th arrow.
You said it, a strike and 6 to force a game 4 in this race to 3. The U.S. Open champion, now 3 straight world championships. For the 7-time major champion, Tackett does!
Ain't done yet.
No, he's not.
Ain't done yet, baby.
I just want to say a little surprised that he got it back from that spot.
Done yet, baby.
E.J. Tackett, here he comes, America. That is the moment of the match, brought to you by Pilgrims. Chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. Tackett still has a pulse in the playoffs.
What a great finish for E.J. Tackett. Took advantage of the opening, and that's what great champions, that's what they do.
And the plot thickens to a game 4, partner. This is the theater that we came for.
Yep.
The world's best have been punching back and forth. Svensson feeling as confident as he ever has. Coming in here as TOC champion with a 2-0 lead, but you got to go through this mountain, Mount Tackett. 4 titles this season. So now, what are you thinking heading into game 4? Besides the obvious, Tackett can force a roll-off.
Yeah, so I think EJ's got a really nice look on the left lane. He said during the break to his tour rep, Brett Spangler, on the left lane, it's like the gutter is the 4th board, so I've got the 5th and 6th board, and maybe be able to hit the 7th board to get to the pocket. Does his ball reaction hold up on the right lane?
We're in Motown. Smokey Robinson once wrote that song, Get Ready, by the Temptations. America, get ready for game 4. Here comes Tackett. Svensson trying to hang on. Tonight, it's Baseball Night in America, featuring 2 of the biggest stars in baseball. Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers against Juan Soto and the Mets. Or the Guardians take on the Tigers. Check local listings for the game in your area tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox. As welcome you back to Strobel Arena, everybody. Jesper Svensson up 2-1 as we head to a game 4 against the best in the world, E.J. Tackett. We are joined by PBA Tour Commissioner Tom Clark with Randy Pederson as well. And it is a bittersweet day for us, Tom, because while the sweetness is we have an outstanding championship showdown between the world's best, Tackett and Svensson, it is the final show in the PBA's current relationship with Fox Sports, a special relationship.
Yeah, very special relationship. First of all, we met you through Fox, and we're grateful for that, John. Being able to have these 2 great stars of our sport, 2 of the greatest players that ever played, in the playoffs final is a fitting, conclusion to our Fox relationship. The Fox relationship and working with the PBA is how the playoffs was even developed in the first place. So we've had several playoffs events that were fantastic, and all because of Fox.
Well, speaking of those playoffs events, just like you see a lot of top 5s, top 10 great moments of all time, well, how about the best moments on Fox through the years? Commissioner Clark has brought some of his favorite moments. Let's take a look, beginning with the 2019 playoffs.
Yeah, the first playoffs at Bayside Bowl. in Portland, Maine, when Chris Prather beat Bill O'Neill. I've never been in a bowling center that got louder than it did that day. Then in this building, Thunder Bowl, when Jason Belmonte broke the record, winning his 11th major championship. That was incredible. The PBA League, who could forget the first time when the Portland Lumberjacks won in Maine and the crowd just flowed down onto the lanes behind them. Incredible excitement. Then the best match I've ever seen.
The best.
Jason Belmonte versus E.J. Tackett in the 2023 World Championship in Milwaukee. It was gripping stuff, and E.J. came out on top.
And then we'll let Rob Stone tell you about moment number 5.
Come on, kid, do it. Oh, he got the 710, Randy.
Oh, my goodness. The ginger assassin just dropped the 710. You bet, kid. You bet.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Tom, so many great moments throughout the years with our partners at Fox. Historical moments, and we owe so much thanks to yourself for making that possible, along with our dear friend and colleague, Rob Stone. So special thanks, special shout out to our buddy Rob as well. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Rob, for putting all of this, being instrumental in putting so much of this together.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. You've been the man all the way through.
And congrats, by the way, on your Hall of Fame, your USBC Hall of Fame induction.
You too.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was great to reunite with Rob Stone with bringing him back to the PBA. That was a beautiful thing for us too. But Fox changed the way people watch bowling. They were so innovative, and their support was so beautiful for our game, and we really appreciate what they did.
I'll never forget getting the call to cover this sport for Fox Sports, and the first call I made was to Rob Stone. And he said to me, he goes, "You're going to love this because this sport has outstanding fans, outstanding stars, and elite people like Randy Pederson and Kimberly Pressler. And I've loved it more than I even thought then."
Hey, and don't worry, fans. We'll be back next year, next season with the tour on new networks.
And with more information on that, you can stay tuned to PBA.com all throughout the coming weeks and months for your tune-in information heading into next season. How about a Game 4?
Let's do it. Thanks, Tom. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom Clark. We will have an uninterrupted Game 4. Tackett and Svensson Star Power next. Welcome back, PBA Playoff Championship. E.J. Tackett was down 2-0. He made some adjustments. He's cut it to 2-1. We head to Game 4 in our race to 3.
Tackett 8 out of the last 9 strikes to finish Game 3.
And he keep it rolling here. He does. He said that he would make some adjustments, told Kimberly that. We're watching it all play out now, Randy. Now, Ken Svensson, who's typically got this demeanor, unfazed, unafraid of the moment, told us you can't bowl afraid against E.J. Tackett. Can he hang on? If we're even at 2 after 4, we go to a 9th and 10th roll-off.
Well, it's just going to come down to execution. If you do make a bad shot, avoiding a big split is paramount.
Trying to become the second bowler to win PBA playoffs after finishing second the prior year. The real deal, Bill O'Neill, now PBA Hall of Famer.
Yep, he did it. Lost to Prather, came back and won. And that's a good sign. I know it's early, but anytime you see the 4 snap the 7 out like that for Svensson, that is a good sign.
Yeah, that is just technique personified. 13-time champion. Between these two men, you get 40 PBA Tour titles. 40.
Oh, boy.
The 10.
Wasn't a good shot.
You're fortunate
Pretty
here.
good that it hit the pocket, though. Yeah.
He just looked up as I was telestrating that break point, I think he's a bit surprised that it got back as far as it did.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about the ball change for him on that right lane and going to the Venom shot, which is much more aggressive, more angular. But I promise you, he wasn't trying to get it to that spot down lane.
Like you said, though, avoiding the split, avoiding that big mistake. That's what each of these games has come down to. Tackett beating Anthony Simonson and Graham Fa to get here. Svensson beating Jacob Buttroff, Andrew Anderson, and Chris Vine. 6.
What do you say when you're out on a bad first date and you want to get out of there? Check, please. That's exactly what this ball did early. It checked.
How many bad first dates have you been on?
Oh.
Sounds
You
like
seriously just asked me that?
Okay. Well,
I mean,
okay.
Too many to count?
You won 13
A
titles. More titles than those.
Have to.
You know. All right, moving on.
He was dead on line.
It was one right through the print of the one that laid off on the shot before. It was fairly close. I mean, it's probably just a 1-1 or something like that, just to find a little through the front.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Svensson has regained momentum.
Back-to-back left taps on the 7 for the Iceman. Looking to pick up his second $100,000 check of the 2025 season.
For a guy who finished 66th at the U.S. Open, 33rd at the Masters, 81st at the Players. He is 7th on the points list, and TOC title will change that when he beat Jacob Buttroff. But he didn't start the year strong. He has picked up steam. Bowling his best at the best time of year with his best friend, Kyle Troop, looking on. Doubles partners, best buds. 4 men have won playoff titles. Svensson would join Troop. They'd account for 3 of them, the doubles partners and best friends if Svensson wins. Tackett had to get that one here in the 4th. Needs Svensson to blink.
Well, it appears to me that EJ likes the right lane better than the left, and Jesper likes the left lane better than the right.
Be good. Be good. Be good.
Yeah! It was great.
So with that being said, EJ's going to finish this game on the right lane, and Jesper's going to finish this game on the left lane.
Adding to the theater of this match. We told you coming on that we were in for a treat, that you were all in for a treat, and these two have delivered elite bowling. Living up to the billing here as we hit the 5th. Svensson perfect through 4, and again, this is an uninterrupted showdown. No commercials. Stay in your seats.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. You could just kind of see that creeping in. He's playing such a tight line on that right lane that if he misses target inside, there's no way it's going to hold its head.
Does he mean to be playing as tight of a line?
He's playing it that line because it's a longer pattern, and he knows that he can't create a lot of angles, so he can't really give it up to the left.
But you keep creeping in and in and in.
he can create a little bit of angle on that lane, but just a little, and the mind knows that. And so the tendency for a mistake would be to miss in, not out, because you know you can't miss to the left if you're Jesper. Now on the left lane, he can miss a little bit to the left and get it back. It looked like his ball speed was a pinch slower that time, which is also not going to help it stay on line. But again, I think that his best lane of the two is the left lane. He gets to finish there, but he's got to get through the right lane with enough strikes to have a chance when he gets to the 10th.
As the season intensifies, I intensify, is what he told us. A major champion this year. The 7-0! That was a first date that ended with a kiss just shy of midnight.
I feel like that's when it looks early when I get it going. But... Okay, so then move one right.
Ooh.
Okay, so we get a little extra scoop. Except, I mean, looking at it, they don't mind. Move one. Yeah, just move one right.
Timmy's talking to Jesper about what to do on the right lane. He's going to have him move aboard right next time up.
That was so fun to watch.
Spectacular. Speaking of spectacular.
Things are picking up in Motown.
And the #1 player in the world fighting and clawing, trying to get back in this. Just trails by 9 and can take the lead for the first time here in Game 4.
He's got his lines really good now on that left lane.
Up the back with the hand and up the lane. And it's 10 in the pit.
How good is this?
It's phenomenal. I mean, this is where, for me, I just like to sit back and watch and drink it in.
Punch, counter punch.
This time keeps the speed up on that right lane, and now back to the left where he has been perfect here in Game 4.
And where he will finish. Oh, he loves this left side. He won the first 2 games. He dropped Game 3, and he finds himself up trying to close it out.
This is really high flush. I mean, the ball actually did go past the 8-pin.
And now Tackett, where he will finish this game on the side that he prefers. 44 Hardwick. Tackett! Good break.
God damn it, EJ.
It was a little slow, a little grabby, and inside a target, and he avoids
Well, hook over there.
a disastrous split right there. Could have been a 5-count split. Instead, just the 4-7. My opinion now, Jesper Svensson is 1 strike on the right lane away from winning this.
Have a re-rack, please.
Asking for a re-rack, and this is the lane that Tackett does not like as much.
Damn it, EJ.
Doesn't do as much.
Okay.
EJ Tackett right now going at 227. Jesper's at 248.
Go, go. Come on.
To have any chance, must strike situation for Tackett.
The 10 hangs.
The urethane 10. He got it into that flat 10 zone with the urethane light ball. And it flat 10'd on him.
This is the one monster that he has not conquered on tour.
Just a pinch faster for him on that left lane, on that shot. That was just enough to leave the flat 10.
Strikes here. Basically just needs 7 pins. Well, won't be a strike.
And just looking at the numbers, Johnny, I think 9 spare with that shot is a really good thing.
Crept in again.
Threw it harder, and that was the only thing that saved that shot. And just a mark away now.
What a month it's been for him. Month and change. And once you win Tournament of Champions in Fairlawn, beating Jacob Buttroff, finding his stride and getting a second major. That last major had come in 2016. Now trying to win the belt, win $100,000. Just bought a house. He moves on Wednesday in Sweden. The Iceman.
Easy.
The 6. For Svensson.
Make this and then stay behind the foul line and just hit pins. Just needs this and 1. And he hasn't missed a 6-pin since 2017. Okay, I'm guessing, but I can't remember the last time I've seen him miss a 6-pin. Just needs 1. And he's going to put another $100,000 check in his pocket to go along with the one that he put in his pocket in April over at Riviera Lanes in Akron.
How about $200K, a little over a month. It's the Iceman's time! Jesper Svensson, you are the PBA Playoffs champion.
I appreciate it. Good job.
That celebration is presented by John's Crazy Socks. Socks that make you happy. And that's the reality of a life-changing month and change for this man. The man from Sweden who has found his best again with his best friend, Kyle Troop, and doubles partner.
Got that belt. Way to be.
I can tell you, over the years, our players, our competition have never disappointed on Fox. And what a way to close it out. Wow. Talk about a match for the ages.
With his family, and Jolene has a daughter, Mira. A special, special moment. And for E.J. Tackett, it's always a pleasure to watch him bowl.
I love this city so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right here in iconic Strobel Arena, in a city that, well, just one of the greatest bowling cities in the world.
You did get one. You got $100,000.
Jesper, getting a little redemption here today. Last year, you were second in this event. What does it mean to you to finally be in the winner's circle of the PBA playoffs?
It's just madness right now. I don't know what to say. I'm so thankful for everybody coming out. I mean, it's packed in here, and this is what we all strive for and want to do. So, yeah, I got to thank, everybody here, Kyle and them. Obviously, I mean, they come here from from Kentucky to support me. So I got a great support system and a second family over here, and yeah, I'm thankful.
And let's talk about that support system. I saw you over there hugging your best friend, but you also have a ton of fans around the world, and of course, Jolene back home and Mira in Sweden. They're watching you. What do you have to say to your supporters?
Again, I'm just so thankful. All the sacrifices they make for me to be able to live this life, and I'm sure they enjoy this moment just as much as I am, but yeah, I'm just forever thankful. And to all my sponsors, Storm, Vice, Bowlify, and Gaps Bowling, Patrick Bakke. Without those guys, neither of this is possible, so thank you so much.
Long journey to get here throughout the season. What was your favorite moment through it all?
Well, I had it a little wrong. I thought I was going to bowl last in the fourth game, so I messed that up a little bit, but maybe that was for the good. So we did... the first two games, I did what I'm supposed to do, and then game 3, EJ did what he's supposed to do. And, yeah, it was a great match, and I know EJ is disappointed right now, but you just got to say he's the best player in the world, and he probably deserves all the titles we bowled for, but, yeah, I'm glad I could steal this one.
Well, you said it last week. You said, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Congratulations on this hard-fought win.
Now a 14-time PBA Tour champion. For more information on the upcoming 2026 PBA Tour season and tournament schedule, log on to PBA.com. Randy Pederson, a final thought from you, my partner and friend.
Well, we've always known about his talent, his greatness, right? And then he kind of had a lull. And for him, a lull is maybe not going out and winning 2, 3, 4 tournaments in a year. But just, he stayed strong throughout last year's season, which was really tough on the Southpaws. Found a way to win late. And then he did what he did in Akron, winning the TSC for a second time, and then now this. The Iceman is a great, great player. He's proved it once again.
Coming up next, Major League Soccer, San Diego FC faces the LA Galaxy. For Randy Pederson, Kimberly Pressler, this is John Fanta saying it has been our joy at Fox Sports to bring you the PBA on Fox. Jesper Svensson is the PBA playoff champion.